Hey guys, it's Peyton, and today I'm back at you again with another Hunger Games book announcement. Who would have thought that Miss Suzanne Collins would resurrect herself from wherever she is in the cabin in the woods, whoever knows where she is right now, to give us more books. Look, we got the Hunger Games trilogy a million years ago, and then she had the audacity to give us the Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes, a prequel to the original trilogy that really dove in to how the Hunger Games came to be. It was set around the 10th Hunger Games. A lot of people did not like this book when it came out. I was one of the few that seemed to actually really like it. I loved the villain origin story and just really diving deep into Panem and how everything happened. I was captivated by this whole world. Like, it's terrifying, and the man that we see, President Snow, and who he becomes and how scary everything around him and what made him so evil, it's horrifying. I'm obsessed with these books though. And today I woke up with some new Hunger Games news, and I'm really not going to be editing this video because I mean, this is crack of dawn in the morning. Like, I saw this when I woke up. I need to get to work, but I thought it would be nice to give us a little update because I am a huge Hunger Games fan. If you've been around on my channel for a while, you would know this. I got a whole playlist of whole bunch of videos, and I'm just one of those people that really loved the Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes when the book came out, and honestly, it felt like the whole internet hated it when it came out. Once the movie has been around, it seems people have a greater appreciation for it now. I see a lot more videos of positivity around the video, but it felt like when the book came out, every single video that got posted was just completely dragging the book, and it just didn't feel like people understood what Miss Suzanne was doing here. And that's fine. But also, if you're gonna hate on the book, I don't know. I just feel like there was just some misconceptions about what this book was meant to be. Like, it was never supposed to uplift President Snow. It was meant to be a deep hatred look into what happens to people in such a disgusting world. So, okay, so I woke up today, and this is a picture. This is all we have. Sunrise on the Reaping, Suzanne Collins, coming March 18th, 2025. And what it says is, Sunrise on the Reaping will revisit the world of Panem 24 years before the events of the Hunger Games, starting on the morning of the reaping of the 50th Hunger Games, also known as the Second Quarter Quell. If you're a Hunger Games fan, you know the 50th Hunger Games was explored in Catching Fire. This is the Hunger Games that Haymitch Abernathy was in. 48 people, that was the whole catch of the Quarter Quell. Every Quarter Quell, a really big twist happens. So that's what happened to Katniss in Catching Fire. She had her Quarter Quell, and it was with past victors. So that was her twist. His twist was that it was double of the victors reaped. So he was dealing with 47 other people, and he was able to win. And while we did see this explored in Catching Fire, we saw Katniss watching some footage of Haymitch's games. We saw her perspective on what happened in his games. So honestly, I am surprised that we are diving into his 50th Hunger Games, because if I had to choose between all the people that I thought she might dive into, I wouldn't have thought it was that, because we already kind of did that. But, you know, the point is to be made that we had Katniss's perspective on Haymitch's games, and there's still so much that we don't know about what happened to him. Like, we don't know when the book will finish, and what exactly we will explore about how this will impact him and what will, I don't know, because Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes, we did have a games in here, but we also had the aftermath. And I just feel like that could be something very interesting to explore. I've always found Haymitch super fascinating because, I mean, we see how he is in the original trilogy. He is scarred. He is jaded. He has seen so many kids come and go and die. He is one of the few victors that have ever won from District 12. What got him to be one of the few from District 12, and he killed all those people? And I've always found him interesting because he also did something that made the Capitol mad, and that's why his life ended up being so terrible, and that's why he was so terrified for Katniss and her journey, because he knows what they'll do if you show them up. And from my memory, he used the force fields that Katniss explores in Catching Fire. She noticed them. The rim of the arenas, there's these force fields that if you hit them, it will propel back to you. He used that against the final person he was fighting against. I think it was an axe, threw it. I think she threw the axe, and then it came back and whacked her in the face. So he positioned himself purposefully, and he used the arena to be able to win. And he was very smart. And honestly, the Capitol being a bitch, like, he won. Leave him alone. At least he didn't do a count of state. Like, but it did not go well that he did something that the Capitol didn't expect. They didn't like that he was able to figure something out that he didn't have exclusively planned by them. So, you know, and this is all in this book. Like, I don't think this is a spoiler. You should have already read this trilogy. I'm sorry. You should already know what's going on here. So I'm just extremely interested in seeing what we will explore. And I also know that there is trepidation here. You know, I woke up to my friends, Brittany and Kit, were discussing if this is weird or not. And me as a giant Hunger Games fan, not saying they aren't too, I obviously am thrilled. At first, I mean, my initial reaction was not as shocked as I was when I heard about the Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes, because now I know she's back and she is actively writing things. I didn't think she was ever coming back, you know? So this was, like, I remember where I was on the street at my college. I was walking to get to my next class, and, you know, I could have got hit by a bus because I was so shocked. This, it's not as shocking, but I'm still, like, can't believe that's real. Like, in March of next year, I'm getting another Hunger Games book, and it's from a character that I love so much. I'm so excited because there was that layer of the Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes where I hate President Snow. Like, do I really want to read from him? Obviously, I was really intrigued by what we could do with such a villain origin story, but I also was nervous because, you know, I hate that guy. Like, it's not always fun to read about someone you hate. So, Haymitch being a bitch that I love, I mean, I can't even express. That's why I'm here making this video. I'm not editing it because I do have a job. I need to go do my work very soon. But I wanted to get this out because I really love this series. It means so much to me. And I know that there's going to be a lot of haters. They're like, this is too much. Like, she's already done enough. Like, she has a perfect trilogy. Like, why do this? And some people don't like the ballad, so they're going to be really extra, like, why is she doing this? Like, she's beating a dead horse. And I just don't feel like she's beating a dead horse. She took such a gap in between writing. I feel like she took her money and went and lived her life. I don't know if she has children or a family or whatever, like, whatever. She might just be living her life, and I can just imagine that she could miss it. Like, she went through, I mean, she wrote a book series before the Hunger Games as well. She has a history of writing throughout her whole life. Like, I can see coming back and missing it. And I'm like, why do we allow Cassandra Clare to write 15,000 books in the same world, and we can't let this lady do the same too without criticizing? I know some people do criticize Cassandra Clare, but I'm just saying, you know, I feel like she's very intentional in everything that she writes. I feel like the ballad was very critical to the timeline, and it was heavily inspired by political figures that are in the US. So, I mean, she says she was inspired by the current modern day and what was happening. And I just feel she would not write something unless she had a story to say and something important to add, especially since we've already kind of explored Haymitch, but not fully. I mean, there's a lot to gain here, I think, but I just feel she wouldn't do this if there wasn't a reason. You think this woman's not rich? She has plenty of money. Like, I do not think this is a cash grab. And, you know, obviously there's going to be a movie from this. I'm pretty sure Francis Lawrence said, like, if she wrote anything, he would produce it and make it. So I'm sure we will see that. And yeah, I feel like I need to wrap this up. It was a quick little video to give you my thoughts, and I don't have time to edit it. Like, I do need to go to work, but I wanted to be able to get my thoughts out there. I'm really excited. I hope y'all are too. I know there's going to be some people that are nervous about this, but I just have my trust in her. She better not let me down. I hope she stays in the wilderness and never really becomes a public figure of any kind, because if she ever does anything to ruin this for me, like, I'm gonna be so upset. So, Peace and love. Hunger Games forever. I can't believe I'm here again talking about this. Thank you guys. And it's actually insane. It hasn't fully processed in my brain, but I'm gonna have so much to say about this. So much to say about this. So I gotta go though.